It's
Yeah,
worth mentioning too that most of these, at least the state, realtor association, local, even some of the MLS contracts are copywritten and you cannot get them
right.
until an agent gives it to you. And so
Same with the
like
purchase agreements.
it's
Yeah,
wild. So I went through maybe 30 different contracts. Like my brain was spinning. But most of those, I had to ask a real estate agent to send me them because there was no place online to look for them. So you don't even get a chance unless you're having a meeting and while you're interviewing your agent to be able to look at this. And it's so, some of them are so dense, but
yeah,
you have no access to them.
you're
And
right.
so it still makes me mad that like, why doesn't the state, at least my state, provide a more neutral contract? I can guess it's because on that board sits a COO of a major brokerage in my state who probably doesn't want to add a general contract about rebates or like how to get out of this contract. But we'll get back to that. That's just my
Right.
beef.
And
So
it's important to know too, like the way these contracts are used here in Minnesota, and I've seen it throughout the country, is they lock these buyers into these contracts and uh and it entitles them to a fee if that buyer buys a house in the next year.
my,
And let's say what they'll often do is they'll put that buyer broker contract signature in an e-signing session combined with maybe 40 pages of a purchase agreement. Buyer doesn't know they've signed it. They go ahead and the agent that they met with off of Zillow or one of these other websites says, you know what, let's just write an offer just so I can show you the process. I've got a case like this active right now. And they sign the documents, put a low ball offer in knowing it's not going to get accepted. And then afterwards, they decide they really don't like this agent. They're really kind of slimy, whatever the case may be, or they've said something offensive, which I see happen all the time. And they try to fire them and they won't let them. The broker won't let them. No one will let them out of the contract. And then 6 months later, they hire another agent, tell the agent about this other contract, and that agent doesn't say anything, says, yeah, you're fine. Um, Helps them buy a house. They get paid 2.7%. Then the other company sues the buyer.
right, because they want
It's
money. Yeah.
yeah, it's amazing how bad it is out there. And these contracts all make it possible.